Here you're ready for your dose of reality.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Dr. Quack podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Quack, and
I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem, and today we got some news and some mail, or not some news, but some mail that just stopped and gave us some pause. We had to actually come out with just this one letter and make something hopefully to uplift us, to get us out of this quagmire known as the 2020 anal raping.
yes, oh my God.
Pandemic aside, this has just been a bad year for wrestling. The pandemic has had a great damage to it. But before the pandemic, wrestling was kind of on the downward slide. So we received this letter. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you, and then we're going to discuss it and kind of bring up a few things. So this is from a gentleman named Lawrence. And Lawrence comes to us from London, England. So I'm going to read the letter to you here.
Wow, we got somebody from London.
London, yes.
Holy cow.
All right, my name is Lawrence. I live in London. I have watched WWF and WWE since I was a small lad. I have noticed the poor quality of the matches lately. Since you two analyze old and new, is it just me or has wrestling gotten worse in the WWF and WWE? Cheers. And you know what? He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all. So we thought we'd talk about some of the things that have gone right in wrestling in the last 2 to 3 years, but mostly just before the pandemic and post-pandemic, a lot of things that have gone wrong and some hopes for things that have gotten better. So, good doctor, since today I'm going to even be nice and let you say it's your show because it is called the Dr. Quack Podcast. I may change my mind tomorrow, but that letter got to me, and so I'm gonna confer to you and give you your chance to go first.
Okay. Would you like me to tell you what's right with the business?
Sure.
Because that's what I'm going to tell you.
Sure, let's go with that first.
There's a few things. I know, believe me, and this is what I love, the exposure. And I'm talking about with social media. You know, how you have several, different bases of the guard dog's going nuts here.
We apologize. Our guard dog she's even involved in the question. She's just here enjoying life. So we apologize for that. Go ahead.
Yes. She's, the exposure, like you have a lot of social media groups, out there that, they post a lot of things. You see wrestling memes all over, social media with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and everything else. And a lot of the fan bases that, will tell you how they feel about this business, how they love it, how they hate it. Another big thing I like about what's going on is NXT. I'm just going to tell you, NXT over the last 3 years, I feel like has really stepped their game up. They're now on mainstream television. I feel like they don't go overboard, but they don't undercut it either. That's kind of how I feel like the storylines are not exactly the best, but they're not the worst. They're plateauing. They keep you interested enough to where, okay, let me see what happens next. That is really a positive for me.
All right. I'm actually the opposite on social media involved in wrestling. I think social media has been a downfall and has hurt wrestling. The reason I say that is for many, many years, we're talking back to when the kayfabe carny era of wrestling started in the 1870s, when it was truly a carnival act. The business was closely guarded, and the wonderment was, how did they do it? How did they figure that stuff out? And when social media came about, these working marks, these horrible, which kayfabe word of the day, mark and smart mark and fan. There's a difference between the three. A fan is someone who enjoys wrestling, buys the merchandise, and enjoys suspending disbelief and enjoying what you're being shown. A mark is somebody who is a target because they are involved in wrestling in ways they should not be. They try and get backstage. They try and analyze the angles in a negative way.
They love the dirt sheets.
They love the dirt sheets, the Meltzer sheets. And then there's the smark, which is somebody who is in the wrestling business who shouldn't be. They're the ones that think that this is real. They want their family and friends to come out and they tell them every single secret. They're the worst. But going back to what I was saying about social media, we have a lot of these smarks that are out there giving away the secrets, and now the fans know what's going on, and you have to try even harder. And just the social media has damaged it. Plus, also, you shouldn't always give the fans what they want. You should give the fans entertainment. And the WWF crowd, especially the Daniel Bryan era, where they hated the Survivor Series, Royal Rumble that he got eliminated early from, and they didn't understand that was leading to something further down the road. They just poo-pooed the show and they booed the rest of the entire night. That's marks, and that's the internet crowd that I think have really hurt wrestling in a big way.
I mean, and to piggyback off that, dude, Charlotte Flair this week. Everybody's known for a week that she was coming back to the WWE and going to be Asuka's partner. I mean, they couldn't have hidden that if they tried. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, for a whole week, you could have guessed who was Asuka's partner going to be.
Yep.
No.
Like, I don't watch the dirt sheets. I don't read the dirt sheets. Back about a year and a half ago when Shane McMahon first came back to the WWE after his 7-year absence doing other business ventures, I legitimately enjoyed it. And then I found out it had been known for like 6 weeks. I'm like, come on, really? If you want to watch WWE, which is an entertainment show meant to suspend belief, and then quit reading about it. You can't have it both ways, folks.
Yes, everybody wants to be in the director's chair, don't they?
Yep. So since I poo-pooed on what was a positive of yours, which I'm sure you see some of my side, although I understand your side. Yes, there's a lot of good things that are done out there. We're going to give a shout out to Voices of Honor because we recently did something with them. That's something that's nice. It gives somebody a little bit outside of it, because from what I've seen of them, they don't overanalyze wrestling too much. They just enjoy one part of it. So shout out to Voices of Honor for a positive.
Yeah.
So my positive side of the wrestling is they are getting more athletic. While I am a big fan of the 70s and 80s with the psychology, my wrestling career was based upon psychology, sometimes athleticism is just needed. You need to have that person that just, you sit back and go, wow, that was incredible. So I think the athleticism has gotten better in the wrestling over the last 4, 5, 6 years. That's really made some of the eye-popping high spots mean a little bit more, even if they're overdone.
Well, here, let me give you my negatives.
Go ahead.
Okay. Dive! That's what we got there. Dive! We're going to lock up. We're going to do a little spot. Dive! Oh my God, 7 people holding each other together like this, and us that 8th one jumping off like an idiot. Thank you, Jim Ross. That was dead up correct. Dive! That's what we got here. You know, 50 super kicks in a match. Really?
Yes.
Dive! Because that's what we got to do.
Yes.
Between that and the other magic word, Vince. Vince, can you please let go of the control of your company? I understand, make your money, but God, let somebody take, control of that to be able to mold professional wrestling the way it should be.
Yes.
A lot of people had a lot of heat with Randy Orton this week and The Fiend over there on the Fire match. But I'm just going to tell you this. I love the match, the cinematography, yes, but I agree in some respects with Jim Cornette. It was a stupid angle. Why are you taking one of your last living legends, and that's what it's missing, living legends, and pretty much make him look like crap? I get it. I mean, Randy Orton's getting paid probably $1 million, $2 million a year. I would make my money too. I would not care. Here, you want me to dump some gasoline on him? Oh boy. Yeah, that's really great, but it doesn't look realistic. it looks like you're making a movie. You know, I love it on that perspective, but it's not professional wrestling. Not the way it should be.
Yes, and I will agree. I will piggyback on his Vince idea. Vince, we can't take away what he has done for the wrestling business. He nationalized it. He's mainstreamed it. But he's over the hill now. He still runs a good, tight business. He really needs to hand off the production side and focus on the executive side a whole lot more. And again, you're right. 50 super kicks in a match, dumb. Learn a few more moves. Learn to sell a little bit better. The 0 to 60 where you get kicked with 5 super kicks and then you throw a double clothesline and everybody lays down, that's not psychology. That's boring. And it's not realistic. Or the 217-pound Seth Rollins powerbombing 300-pound man into the corner. Sorry, no. Yes, it's a tag team effort. But
and
no.
can we please send Nia Jax to the Performance Center so she doesn't hurt more female wrestlers?
Yes. So there are some good things in wrestling, and there's a lot of really bad things. And a lot of the bad things is people have fallen in love with a few sets of moves. In the 90s, it was the DDT. Everybody did the DDT. That's kind of gone away now. Now everybody does the super kick. What's next? Yeah, hopefully not something worse. Quit stealing from each other. Everybody come up with a different move set. Try and make every move mean something. The super kick, because everybody can do it, doesn't mean anything anymore. When Chris Adams did it, it meant something.
Yeah. When Shawn Michaels did it, it meant something.
Now it means nothing.
Now it means nothing. Oh, don't forget, in January 4th, I believe it is, that January of Raw is coming on with the Legends. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You know, you're going to throw all the legends on one show. You know, how about just take a legend and build a storyline with them, with a young guy, and help them get over? It's nice to see all the legends, but seriously, come on.
Well, and if you're going to do that with somebody that's going to go somewhere. The last time they tried to do that, it was Bob Backlund and the Black John Cena, Darren Young. That was not good. Darren Young is not talented. He's got a good physique. He's got a good story. He's not talented. And Bob Backlund isn't the guy to make that guy better. You want to make him better? Put him with somebody. I think they should have put him with Cena. Yes, I know the joke is they look alike. Mm-hmm. Cena's not a great wrestler as far as his main event status in the WWE. Watch some old Ruthless Aggression. John Cena could go.
Yeah, when he wanted to, he really could. But here, let me ask you a question, sir.
Sure.
So what do you want to see happen in 2021?
Okay, 2 things I'd like to see happen and 2 things I think will actually happen. The 2 things I'd like to see happen is, 1, get rid of the monthly pay-per-views. I understand you have your own network. You were doing it long before you had your own network. Make the pay-per-views mean something. 5 of them, maybe 6. That's it. And 2, I'm going to say something that's very unpopular.
Oh, God.
And I know it's not going to happen. I want AEW to go away. I'm sorry. Letting the inmates run the asylum is what killed WCW. AEW, you may be popular right now because you're showing a few new people that haven't been seen very often. You're not going to last. If you don't get control of the inmates and put one person in charge, you're going to fail. Yes, that's what right now is the wrong with WWE. But the thing is, Vince McMahon for 35 to 40 years was doing well, so he can be forgiven for 5 years of crap.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this much. I don't mind AEW being there simply on the fact that, you know, it opens more doors for professional wrestlers. It doesn't allow just 65 to 70 wrestlers to be able to make a living. It's allowing about 200, would you say? 175?
Yeah, about that.
Right.
And that's another one that I would like to see, but it'll never happen, is I'd like to see WWE go territorial again. You know, like the NWA used to be. Territories. That way you can have all these people in different areas and you can move them around. That's what his network is for. You could show WWE Pacific Northwest, or WWE Florida or WWE Texas, and everybody's getting a chance to work and make a living instead of the 65 or 70 guys that are out there. So those are my two wish lists that I know won't happen. My two that I would like to see happen, I'd like to see Kevin Owens with a run at the title, and I'd like to see AJ Styles at a run with the title.
Two things I want to see really big. One, I want to see The Fiend finally get a long-term championship. Every time he's won the title, he's dropped it, and it's been horrible. Within 7 days on the last one. Seriously, I get it. Roman Reigns come back. Oh my God, Roman Reigns. Yeah. The other thing I really would like to see is Vince McMahon just step down. I don't care if he gives it over to Stephanie. I don't care if he gives it over to Triple H. I don't care if he gives it to Shane McMahon. Somebody, with some creativity, can they please bring back wrestling where it is actually a part of mainstream media like the Attitude Era. Even the Ruthless Aggression Era, I'm okay with. That would be fine with me if it was up to that point. It's nowhere near. This is almost near the Next Generation Era, where you might as well have them filming out of the Hammerstein Ballroom on Raw. Yeah, that was ugly. Sorry, that's one of my favorite eras, but it's also one of the worst.
Man. So I will agree with you on The Fiend with a legitimate title run. He was a white hot character, and they, through their own incompetence, they did ruin a white hot character, a white hot angle that people cared about.
Thank you, Goldberg.
Even before that, the Seth Rollins disqualification in a cage match.
Yeah, that too.
But, and Vince, you're right. Vince needs to, he can still run the executives. He needs to turn the production part over to someone not named Kevin Dunn.
Please.
It's fine if it's somebody else named McMahon, or it could be someone named Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Jean-Paul Levesque, same guy, Triple H. He can turn it over to William Regal, who seems to be very competent. Not Vince. And that's where we are with that. So, Lawrence, thank you for that news. Do we have anything else we need to discuss about this letter? I think we covered quite a bit on that. What do you think?
I think we did, I think, that we hit all the points.
All right. So he's going to give you the push now about the Quackies. Make sure you pay attention and you vote.
That's right. Quackies coming up here. January 5th, you'll see it on here. Make sure you go and vote. There's already a lot of categories out there. There will actually be 4 more categories put out this week. So make sure you go out there. We want to hear your voice. We know the WWE's voice, but I'm not asking for just them. I'm asking for every fan out there of every organization to give us their views on who is the who of professional wrestling.
And we just put out a list of 128 people for a special tournament coming up shortly after the Quackies. Make sure you check that out. We want to hear who you think should still be on the list that we forgot to put on there. Let us know.
Yeah, make sure you check on that page. I'm Dr. Quack, and
I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem, telling you all, I hope you have a happy new year, and may 2021 treat you a whole lot better than 2020.
That's right. And I'm out.